If you're wanting to do some quilting, you are finding that a 1/4 inch seam allowance is exactly what you need to follow. Now, this foot from center to the edge is more than a 1/4 inch. So it's not like you can just leave it normally set and then follow the edge of the fabric. But let's see how you could perfect the 1/4 inch seam allowance so you can use the edge of your presser foot. So what I've done is actually played around with the needle position. So first off, if you go ahead and move your needle position to the far right side. Now, that is going to get pretty close, but it's actually less than a 1/4 inch, quite a bit actually when it comes to getting it precise. Now, this is where you can adjust the needle position with the stitch width. Now, as the needle's kind of moving just a little to the side, you will find by taking a little tool that can measure and then set that down right along the edge of your foot, and then find where you can get that needle to come right next to that ruler. So then when you go to stitch, you can use the edge of your presser foot, here we go, all right, to follow and get an exact 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now I left my stitch length a little short. Let's go ahead and get that going here. Actually, closer to 2 is my favorite here. But now when I stitch, and if I run the fabric right along the edge of my presser foot, now when I measure this seam allowance, I am going to have the perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance. And this is important, especially when you start working with triangles. So if you've ever worked with triangles and the triangle points didn't have any points, they got lopped off, it's because your seam allowance was not measured accurately. So do some cutting with accurate pieces, do some measuring and find your perfect needle position, and try some stitching. Press them open and see if your block size finishes the size that the pattern says it should.